I was always interested, but I couldn't get him to return the favor and talk about it. So therefore, as I got older and I saw articles like some of you had in the paper that interested me, and looking at what my dad has in the background and what he came from and so forth, and so I decided to follow up on it a little bit more, and that's why I decided that I would use some of the material that I did get through records and everything to find it more interesting, and hopefully somebody else will find it interesting too.
So you started out after he had died, you had his medals on his uniform.
Yeah, I still have his uniform too.
And you wrote away. Where did you write to get more information?
St. Louis, Missouri.
And you said, can you tell me about this man's record? He's my father.
Yeah, they did have some of the records, but they had a big fire in St. Louis years ago, and a lot of records burned up. I remember he had his eye removed at Chelsea Naval Hospital in 1939, and they issued him, a prosthetic eye, and he was, that didn't bother him at all. He still drove a truck for Walter Baker's, and they put an outside mirror on the truck because it was so that he could still drive, because it was his left eye that was now missing. And so he continued on, worked 40 years for Baker's. So he's just, he never complained about it. He's just signed up. He's volunteered as far as I know. And so then he trained with the Yankee Division, of course, and then the Yankee Division was combined with a division from Maine, and that's why the helmet that my son has a picture of a painting of a pine tree on the front. And my son has the helmet, and he has the uniform, and he still has a couple of the shells too that Dad either fired or accumulated in France. I don't know really.
And your father lived to be
91.
91, and all that time he never really spoke about the war.
No.
And after he died, then you find out all these things. You must imagine having conversations with him from what you've learned.
Yeah. Well, I know he said he slept in a hayloft a few times in France, and there was trench warfare, but he was there 18 months all told.
What does it mean to you to find all this out now in your 80s, or to be thinking about it?
I wish even more that I had pressed him a little bit more to see if he would have given me a little further information. He was in the American Legion for 60 years, and I still have a little plaque from that. He marched in the Memorial Day parades and so forth, and he was just wrapped up in the Legion too. He really enjoyed participating in the Legion and their activities on field days and so forth. So he was just, he was very patriotic. That's the way I would look at it. He learned how to play the clarinet and the saxophone. Then he picked up the harmonica, and he loved playing that too. And I still have his harmonica.